Hey guys, here we are, part 2 of our LA trip. As you can see, we are at Sea Dwelling Creatures here. Our buddy Chris was walking us around, showing us all the goodies. Here's one of the rays scooting around.
Lots of amazing stuff. First, though, when we first got to LA, we went down to the ocean to see what we could see. Found this nice, friendly sea lion.
This guy was at Santa Monica Boulevard Pier here.
And then we went for a short hike north of LA.
So here we are on night one. We've camped out of the canyon, and just around that corner is a waterfall. So we're gonna go see what that's about. It's a pretty cool spot, not too far from the middle of LA. All right, there it is. We have arrived. And a couple salamanders on the way here as well. Pretty neat little guys.
That night we stopped at one of the marinas. We found a pesky little skunk here eating a jalapeno piece of pizza. I actually tried to call him, and turns out they'll come to you if you call them, and that was a little frightening.
Yeah, friendly little guy. Then this was the next morning after that. We went down to the beach to kind of look for little tide pool creatures, whatever we could find.
Found some starfish right there. As you can see, I pulled it off the rocks. Luckily, I never fell in. Shocking, I know, but
Yeah, I think your shoes stayed dry.
yeah. We found, there was a bunch of them down there, a couple dozen different colors, but they were all about that same size. As you can see there, he's chowing down on one of the mussels on the rock there.
Yeah, they're ochre starfish is what we figured out.
This water was pretty chilly as well. We got in, it was not warm. That's the beach there.
Then, yeah, we were exploring on those rocks there, and we actually managed to catch this little tiny blenny.
That was pretty impressive. The way the current was coming in and out against those rocks, that you were able to catch that.
Yeah, these little guys were coming up and feeding on algae, just like a lawnmower in our aquariums.
But here's this back to SDC. This place was a lot bigger than I was expecting. They had just area after area of, this is all of their cultured corals here.
Yeah, because a lot of the wholesalers we saw were actually much, much smaller, like large garage sized. So it was cool to see a real big place.
But every area, every room that we went into was packed floor to ceiling with either coral, fish, the packing and shipping goods. They really used a lot of their space very well.
Yeah, you can see all kinds of color there. The big scolies were beautiful, but yeah, these were all aquacultured corals, I believe, here.
Yeah, so talk about the sustainability of the coral, or the hobby. Like Nick said, these are all cultured corals. So they're working on growing these specifically for us here in the hobby, so we don't have to pull any of these guys out of the wild. They're also a lot hardier because they're grown under our lights, LEDs, and the salts and all of that we use. So they're used to the aquarium. So you can see there's endless amounts of coral. They break them out by the type, what the conditions they like, and all that. There's some mushrooms down there, but you'll see all different varieties. There's some Favias and other LPS in here. You can see some of the mother colonies, and they don't just have one or two. You see 6 of those Favia colonies there. That way they've got plenty. As these guys really service the whole country and ship out all over the place, so they got to make sure they have all kinds of goodies for the rest of us.
Then next up here, you can see the SPS tank, lots of big acro colonies and established frags growing out.
But you see those acro frags there are really well grown. They're encrusted all over. So that left-hand side there was the new plugs, but when we get aquaculture stuff from them, it's great. They take really good care of it. Everything's very well maintained and has been on the plug for a while. We don't get fresh cut things from them, which is nice.
Yeah, now we're going out into the more wild caught area. I think this here is some of the anemones they have with a ton of color.
Yeah, you see the roses there. That's one of my favorites. Easy color there.
But yeah, so that first room was all the aquacultured corals, and this is their more wild caught colonies. And still lots of frags here, but most of these are going to be shipped in, where the other ones were grown in-house.
Yeah, so they'll pick their favorites and then chop those guys up, and then they'll also take their favorites and keep them in-house to grow. But some Cynarias, some Ghanies over there. Lots of, I mean, you see all the color here. We saw just about every coral you could think of.
Yeah, big acanthophilia back there.
Yeah, some Symphilias some leathers, and like these tubs were massive. Oh, that was one of the most beautiful acanthos. But these tubs, you know, I'm not the best swimmer in the world, and I'd have trouble doing laps in them.
Yeah, end to end. Yeah, there were probably some 20-foot tubs in there.
Yeah, but it was just one rack after another of here's some plate corals, long tentacles, but they had them all broken up by either what variety or where they came from.
Yeah, these are in storage bin tubs to get that little bit of sand bed for those.
Some beautiful bubbles there, some hammers. But yeah, I mean, we saw just about everything you could think of coral-wise. Tub after tub, some echinatas there. But this was really cool for me. I love coral, but just going through all of the different varieties that they had in, and Chris even said they were a little light on coral, which was pretty impressive considering how much they had.
Those big plate corals there are awesome.
Yeah, gotta love the tongue. Some mushroom combo rocks down there. Those are pretty nifty.
Yeah, some bright oranges in there.
Little mushroom bins. These the loose mushrooms go into there so they can keep track of them. But all platygyras, chalices,
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
it
there's
was
blastos down there.
a good mix. Those
Acans.
bright yellow.
But yeah, it was interesting. I don't know what I was expecting going in, but
This was kind of what we expected from everybody, but almost nobody else was on this level as these guys.
yeah. So I think we visited them last of our tour, and yeah, like you said, I think everyone we were expecting to be on this level, and they just weren't. And when we finally got here, it was like, okay, this is what we've been.
This one was worth it, yeah.
This is what we came out here to see.
Yeah, then next up, these are actually big shark and ray bins in these big tubs here. But here he is, yeah, showing us the zebra shark eggs.
Yep.
These guys were massive. We'd love to get one day.
One of these, yeah, we're gonna get one, and then we're gonna do a little. We're gonna film the process of getting it in, and then watching it get bigger and hatching.
Yeah. There's a big giant bat ray. These guys are so weird looking, just massive and flat.
Those are the Cali rays we get down there quite often, actually.
And then the next one was my favorite. Well, that's the diamond
Blue
blue
spot.
dot, yeah. And then this, the cow nose ray, California cow nose.
Now these tubs were massive. They were probably 10 foot around, 12 foot around, and probably 4 foot deep down there. So they had plenty of space that they could move around. And
Yeah, this guy was probably the highlight of my whole time here. Absolutely beautiful watching him cruise around this tub.
whenever we get our shark pond up, we'll definitely have to get one of them.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Let's see what we got here. Those are all macroalgae.
Yeah, some shaving brushes.
Got some starfish down in there.
Yeah, so the systems we're going through right now are the non-medicated systems. So that's where all the sharks, rays, and inverts and corals.
Non-photosynthetics.
Yep, carnation corals, I
Yes.
think. Yeah,
Yep, they you got to feed those guys. Blue linkias,
healthy-looking blue linkias for
Yeah.
a change. Yeah,
pin cushions. Yeah, a lot of those will be kind of faded drab blue. Those were not. And pencil urchin there.
I love those. I've always had them in reef tanks. I've never had one eat coral.
We got rock flowers. That was the cool part too, because they get shipments from all over the world. So seeing everything in one place from all the different places was pretty nifty. Some beautiful acans.
Yeah, some big old wild-caught colonies.
Yeah, those were. They had some nice fluffy heads on them.
I'm surprised more people aren't doing these just for the color.
Yeah,
That's cooler than a Zoa.
yeah, a little bit more work than a Zoa though.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah, they had stuff, but like I said, it depended on where it came from. They had it in different areas. If it was going to go on their furnace to get pictures, these were the furnace ones here, so you can see them broken off into squares, so they know which picture goes with which coral, and then they can put it on the website accordingly, so that when we go to order from them, we know they know, and we all can be on the same page as to what we're getting. But you can see there's just tubs and tubs. This is more of the furnace area. You can see the little tags next to them.
Yeah, the labeling system.
Yeah, that makes it easy for us when we're going on the website to find some of the nice, real high-end coral. They've got it all labeled for us and broken out.
Make sure we get the specific piece we want.
Yeah, we got more anemones here. They had a handful of clowns hanging out in them.
Yeah, that actually does improve the health of the anemone, aerating with a clownfish like that.
We're
And
back
then-
over to the fish system here.
Yep, and I think this is where we will switch over to a part 2.
Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yep. next week we'll take a more in-depth look at all the amazing fish that we saw.